Hello, my name is Don Kent. I'm the President and CEO of the Hubbs SeaWorld Research Institute. I've been working here since I was a graduate student about 40 years ago at San Diego State. I did my master's thesis work here, and after I received my degree, the executive director of the Institute asked me to stay on and help manage the laboratories. When he retired, the Institute asked me to step up and be the CEO. It's been a wonderful experience for me. It's a really unique organization, being next door to SeaWorld, which has the most extensive zoological collection of marine animals anywhere available for research. And being able to carry the Hubbs name, Carl Levitt Hubbs is one of the renowned names in marine biology. It's been an honor to have both of those names associated with this research institute.
What are we going to talk about today, Don?
Well, through the 40 years I've been here, we've seen a lot of issues come and go, and the interactions of humans in the marine environment. Early on in my career, we were looking at how to keep dolphins out of tuna nets, how to keep animals from being entangled in commercial fishing nets, what impacts noise have on animals, what impact the environment is having on animals, the changes in the environment. But one of the most basic things we've worked on is the importance of having a domestic supply of food for our nation and for the world. In my lifetime, the world population has more than tripled, and it's going to get more populous over time. And in the next 30 years, we're probably going to have another 2.5 billion people on this planet. So how do we feed all those people with limited resources? Terrestrial protein from cattle and pigs and chickens is working fine up to a point, but we're running out of land, we're running out of fresh water to feed all those animals and grow them and provide them to the market. The ocean, on the other hand, is an untapped resource. We've traditionally gotten a lot of protein out of the ocean, but the ocean can't keep producing at the levels it had historically. So we need to learn how to farm the sea in the same way that we've learned to farm the land, but to do it more efficiently without impacts to the environment and in a way that's far more sustainable than we've ever experienced before. And that's been the basis of a lot of our research over the last 20 years. We've been working with recreational and commercial fishermen on replenishing stocks of depleted fish, like the white sea bass and the California halibut. And what we've learned how to do there is take our experience in growing juvenile fish and extend that into the opportunity of perhaps providing them all the way to market. So we've worked with government agencies as well as with the private sector to demonstrate how we can grow fish all the way to a marketable size, put them into the market without adverse impacts on the environment.
So where are you in your vision today?
Where we are right now is we've taken the 30 to 40 years of research that we've done in aquaculture, and we've published all the results, and we've done demonstration projects, not only off the Southern California coast, but down into Mexico, that demonstrate how we can culture juvenile fish to a marketable size and provide them to the market. We've learned how to develop new diets that have less of a strain on the environment. We've learned how to maintain the health of the animals. We've learned technologies for working in adverse high seas environments. And what we'd like to do is bring that technology together and put that forward into the seafood community and have them utilize what we've learned to start producing more food domestically.
So what will it take to grow that vision?
Well, we need more people working with us now. We need nutritionists and geneticists and generalists in biology that can come in and work with our institute's programs, utilize the laboratories we have, and expand our laboratory capabilities to create a regional center for aquaculture excellence, where we can go and work on multiple species, working out problems in health, working out problems in diet, larval culture, inducing spawning in many more species of fish and shellfish, so that we can expand this capability and create an even more diverse and sustainable industry over time.
So this Center of Excellence, describe it, please.
Well, imagine a place with the infrastructure in place, with the seawater and the tanks and the health maintenance all in one place, so that researchers from other locations, from universities, from other nonprofits, and from government laboratories can come and work on these species, test out new diets, test genetic maintenance protocols in a way that they don't have to duplicate those laboratories. It's very hard to create laboratory space in the coastal zone. It's very expensive, it's a very complicated process, but having all that in one place where other researchers can come in and utilize it, it would be a huge boon to advancing the science in this field.
What type of obstacles are you running into?
Well, we have a tremendous amount of support from recreational fishermen that feel this is a great direction to go in. Even many in the seafood industry think this is a great direction. Government laboratories, USDA and National Marine Fisheries Service all are very supportive. We need to identify the land to build this on, hopefully in direct proximity to our hatchery in Carlsbad here in San Diego County. Expand that property to include a research capacity above and beyond what we have now. And then, of course, the funding required to do that.
So you talked about the diets, changing the diets to mitigate any environmental impact. What do you mean?
Well, if we're going to rely on the sea to feed us, we can't go back to the sea and feed the fish that we're trying to grow in enclosures out in the ocean. So we need to come up with alternative diets that don't take fish protein and then convert it into another type of fish protein. So we can use processing waste. After they fillet a fish, we can take what's left over and turn that into a diet. We can take soybeans. There's other plant-based proteins that we could look at as using. And all of these different alternatives need to be tested in laboratories before they can be applied on a commercial basis. And so that's one of the main goals of the new research center, would be to have a nutritional component that looks at these alternate proteins so that we have even less of an impact on the environment than if we were to just adopt existing aquaculture protocols.
Are you doing this kind of testing now, this diet testing?
Yes, we are. We're doing a significant amount of diet research right now on soybeans, on trimmings from already processed fish, in order to work in a direction. As you can imagine, these diets, just like for humans, need to be designed for the health of the animal in mind, and so those become species specific. So for each one of the species we work on, we need to develop these diets for the different life stages. What does a larvae need versus a juvenile versus an animal that's 2 or 3 kilos in size? We're not talking about a single center of capability. We want one here in the Southwest region. We also need them in other parts of the country so that they can network together. And what we learn how to, when we develop a diet for white sea bass, how might that be applied to a red drum in the Gulf of Mexico, or how might that be applied to spotted sea trout off the east coast of the United States. And networking this research and making it available to everyone really strengthens our research mission, and also speeds the process by which we develop these new capabilities.
So sometimes people can find some adverse materials on aquaculture. Can you suggest a couple of reliable resources people can go to? Of course, they can always call us, but sources they can go to find out information about aquaculture?
Certainly. The National Marine Fisheries Service has a website in their aquaculture program that can refer people to papers that have been published and reports that have been generated on the latest technologies in aquaculture development. A lot of the problems that people perceive are based on problems that occurred 40, 50 years ago and have since been resolved. Just the whole concept of diet resolution is something that we've worked on intensively and have found alternatives to fish meal in diets. Where the Norwegians 30, 40 years ago might have been using a tremendous amount of antibiotics, they use next near to none now. And they have a $7 billion Atlantic salmon farming industry. So there's a lot to be learned and overcome. And these are the kinds of questions, the concerns that people have are the questions that research organizations work on to answer and mitigate. And that's really one of the big missions of our institute.
Can you tell the folks watching how they might be able to help achieve those goals?
Certainly. Visit our website. You can learn more about our research institute. You can learn more about our sustainable seafood program. There's also a donate now button that allows you to become directly involved. You can be on our listserv to get updates on the work that we're doing. And if possible, we can arrange visits sometime in the future.
Any final thoughts, Don?
Well, this institute was dedicated 50 years ago to resolve some of the problems that humans are having in the marine environment. And by problems humans are having, it's more like the problems that the marine environment is having with humans' use of it. And there's no reason why there can't be a synergistic relationship between human and animal populations sharing the ocean environment. And that's really what this institute is dedicated to, is responsible development, responsible expansion of human use of the environment, but not to the detriment of animals, but rather to the complement of them.